Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about um, some bats that you can get for kids that meet the USA baseball bat standard. This is a new standard that just came out in 2018 for Little League and a bunch of other leagues. So as a parent to a 7-year-old, I had to go out and I had to do a lot of research and figure out what bat to get my child. I knew that I didn't want to spend $300 on a bat, and I knew that I didn't really want to buy the cheapest one out there either. I wanted to get something that was good for him, that would work. The kid's 7. Um, so I did a lot of research and I came up with probably the two best all-around options, bats for under $100 that actually seem to probably be just as good as the $350 bats that are out there. I really couldn't find differences, especially because this is a new standard. There's not a lot of information out there, so I was really picking through to do research to find things. So first of all, if you're using this USA bat standard, you have to, here's the Little League stuff. So you have to find a bat that has the USA stamp on it. You can't use Little League or T-ball bats. Um, so you need to make sure it has the USA stamp on it. So the two bats that I found that seem to meet everything that I was looking for, under $100, and actually I think these are probably just as good as every other one. Because there are hardly any bats to choose from. There's really hardly any. All right, so there are two bats. They're both from Rawlings. The first one is the Rawlings Prodigy. It's a -11, which means that if it's 27 inches, that means it's 16 ounces. Um, I go through and read a bunch of these reviews. This one has, 4 or 5 stars. I go read about the bad reviews. It's someone who took the batting cages with those hard rubber balls bats really aren't designed to go in those. So of course they're going to break in those things. But this bat seems to do everything that the best ones do as well. It's the same weight and size. And the best bats really aren't getting good reviews either, because it's such a new standard. The companies aren't really, the bats aren't really that quality, which will change in the next few years. But for this year, this is the kind of bat I recommend, because you're probably going to want to replace this in a year or two anyway. All right, so this bat is 2 5/8 in width, so it's got the big barrel for the kids. It's got the USA stamp, um, and it's -11 for $79. It's a Rawlings bat, and the other bat that I found is also a Rawlings -11 for $80, which is called the Mach 2. I believe that both of these bats are actually the same. I think they're marketed for different companies. I think they gave Dick's the Prodigy. They're the only ones that seem to sell it, and they gave Academy the Mach 2. And I really think I can't find any difference between these bats. They're both made by Rawlings. They're both one-piece alloy. They're both -11. They're both the same price too. So I really think they're the exact same bat. Just depends where you buy them from. So you can go through, you can read the reviews, but again, I really want to pay attention to reviews. Seasons are just starting, and these bats literally just came out. So I think that these are your best two options for your kids. If you're looking for something, I really wouldn't recommend buying the $300 bat this year, because I feel like the technology is going to change a bit as the companies are making these better and better over the next year or two. I think next year you're going to have a lot more options. Um, but I think these are the two that really, are shining this year. The under $100, you don't want to spend too much, but you still want to get something that's light enough. Another thing I want to point out about these, so I actually got one of each of these. I couldn't find a difference. Even weight was identical. I also got a cheaper -8 bat, just to kind of do some weight tests. And so each of these bats was actually 2.2 or 2.4, I can't remember, was about 2.2 or 2.4 ounces heavier than what it says. So 16 ounce meant 18.4 ounces. And just so you know, all of the reviews of all of the bats are saying the same exact things. The USA Bat Standard bats seem to be weighed without the grip tape on them, which is about 2 ounces. So there you go. All the bats are going to be a little heavier. So even the bat, we bought a -8 bat for our kid as well to test out, and that bat was about 2.5 ounces heavier as well. So just be prepared for that. So know that your bats are probably going to be a little heavier this year. But these are the two that I found after tons and tons of research. I can't find anything that's lighter and cheaper than these two, unless you're going to go down to 2 1/4 inch barrel, which then there's definitely some more options. But even those are very limited too. But we were looking at the 2 5/8. Thank you.